Hey guys, we have a new energetic dynamic to start talking about today. This is a dynamic that is going to be present over the course of the next few weeks and is actually going to be carrying us through into March of 2022 and is going to be making some big impacts on us. And that is the dynamic that is going on between Venus and Pluto. Venus is in Capricorn right now. She is moving to station retrograde on December 19th, but she's going to be making an extended conjunction with Pluto, the Lord of the Underworld. And this is going to be bringing up some very specific themes that, like I said, are activated today and are going to be carrying us through the next few weeks and into next spring, which will ultimately culminate in a major shift that's going to be going on. So that was a long introduction, but welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Welcome to December. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. And we got Venus and Pluto to talk about today. Big energetic. This is actually one of the major significant energetics this entire astrological lunar new year. When we began our astrological year this past new moon in Aries, Venus was in an exact square to Pluto. And that really told me that the Venus-Pluto dynamic was going to be an integral part of the unfolding energetics this year that were ultimately pushing us back into a place of realigning with the truth of our internal value, our self-love, and the worth that we have for ourselves and that we hold inside, and the sense of true empowerment that gives us to break free from things that have been holding us back from truly aligning externally with the value that we hold internally. And this is going to start to shift with the energetics that are coming in today, and like I said, carrying us through the next few weeks. Now, let's sort of back up for a minute. I want to talk specifically about just the nature of Venus and Pluto together, what is going on right now, what this is leading to, and some basic themes that this aspect, this energetic, can tend to bring up. Because again, this is a major theme and a major part of our internal process in shifting our frequency and transitioning into the age of Aquarius. So currently, today, and over the next few days, we have Venus, who is slowing down right now, moving very slowly, preparing to go retrograde, like I said, on December 19th, approaching Pluto. Venus today is at 21 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto is at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So there is a 5-degree orb between them, and it will just grow closer every day as Venus approaches her retrograde, which is actually going to be in a 1-degree orb conjunction with Pluto. So because Venus is slowing down right now, because she's going so slowly, and because of her proximity to Pluto for this upcoming retrograde, that puts her in a conjunction with Pluto this year, this cycle, much longer than she normally would be, simply because of her slowed down movement, the fact that she will be stopping and staying stationary in the zodiac in that 1-degree orb proximity with Pluto, and then she will go backwards, meet Mars, and then they will both come back together and form another conjunction with Pluto together again in March of 2022. And this is really going to create a tremendous shift. But we are not in March yet. We are here today. So let's talk about it. Now, the reason, aside from the fact that we have Venus creeping into conjunction with Pluto, the reason why, this is activated and highlighted today is because we have a Libra moon going on, which is ruled by Venus. And that moon in Libra will also be forming a square to both Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. Libra and Capricorn are both cardinal signs, and they square each other. So the moon itself is referencing Venus by sign placement, and then the moon itself is aspecting both Venus and Pluto today, bringing up these themes. So, okay, I'm trying to not reiterate things that I wrote in my notes. So basically, from now, over the next few weeks, while Pluto inches closer, or Venus inches closer towards Pluto, passes him by 1 degree, stations retrograde, stays there, moves back into conjunction with Pluto very slowly as she begins her retrograde process. All this time where we have Venus in proximity to Pluto, these Venus-Pluto themes are going to be very relevant. And like I said, this is kicking off today because we have Venus moving into that conjunction, and now we have a Libra moon ruled by Venus making the square to both Venus and Pluto, and Capricorn emphasizing this Venus-Pluto dynamic that is growing closer and closer by the day. So what are themes, what are basic themes that we can expect when we have a conjunction between Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and abundance and money and relationships and pleasure, in a conjunction with Pluto, the lord of the underworld, the lord of destruction and rebirth and darkness? What can we expect with this? And generally, the rule of thumb with Venus and Pluto, and I have seen this multiple times play out in my experience looking at astrological information and charts, when there's Venus and Pluto together, there are definite themes of secrecy, compulsion, coercion, obsession, possession, destruction, deception, and enslavement in regards to love and money across the board. With Venus and Pluto, people can want to control and dominate beauty, love, innocence, purity, or enslave these qualities through money or finances in some type of a way. There is a very controlling, possessive, and dominating energy in terms of love, romance, pleasure, beauty, relationships, and money when we have Venus in a conjunction with the lord of the underworld. It really creates this dynamic of really possessing and controlling and enslaving the qualities, the feminine qualities that are associated with Venus, just because of the nature and the dynamic of these two planets. Venus and Pluto also always reminds me a little bit of the Persephone myth. There are definite themes and qualities of that archetypal story that are emphasized with Venus and Pluto. Venus and Pluto in conjunction together always also remind me of the Devil card in the tarot. Like, symbolically, the images represented on that card are very, very correlating to the dynamic that we get when we have a Venus-Pluto conjunction. Now, don't be alarmed, because remember the greater context that all of this is operating in. And considering the fact that we had Venus in the square to Pluto from Aries to Capricorn at the beginning of this year, this entire year has been about this battle, essentially, of coming back into the proper alignment and proper inner relationship with those Venus qualities: self-love, self-worth, self-value, and aligning with what we truly love and what truly gives us pleasure and gives us joy and comfort and beauty in our lives, and breaking free from any type of relationship or circumstance or situation where we have been at a place where we have not been in our power to really be able to express and experience those things, or where we have been enslaved through those things somehow, or through financial circumstances, or controlled through financial circumstances. And sex also can come into this and play a role in this type of thing as well. Like sex trafficking, that type of thing is very, very representative of Venus and Pluto, really enslaving and controlling the innocence, the beauty, the purity, the feminine qualities to use for some type of purpose, or manipulating someone through those qualities. Very, very strong tendencies when we have Venus in aspect to Pluto. And now, so this whole year has really been about setting our heart free from the things that have been enslaving us, or where we've been giving our power away, or what we've been surrendering to that have been keeping us out of the truth of our own internal value, and allowing us to cultivate that and to, project it outwards and to create that same amount of beauty and value and abundance in our external world. Universe, as we transition paradigms into the age of Aquarius, is really doing everything it can to help us come into our own sense of self-empowerment based on a true understanding of the worth, the value, and the love that we hold inside of us, and how that translates into our physical experiences. And this Venus-Pluto conjunction, this extended Venus-Pluto conjunction, is really bringing us to a point where we are realizing this and finding the alignment internally with that love, with that value, with that purity, with that beauty, with that worth, and really coming to a place where we are breaking free and standing down our darkness. And this process, now that we have Venus moving into the conjunction with Pluto and the moon aspecting today, as this conjunction just moves closer, and then Venus goes retrograde and does the thing where she conjuncts Pluto again, goes back, meets Mars, and then, like I said, Venus and Mars will travel together, and the next Venus-Pluto conjunction after her retrograde will be with Venus and Mars and Pluto, and this will be that shift where the divine feminine, the divine masculine are reintegrated internally within us, and we come to this place of internal wholeness where we can truly send the demons back to the darkness and really stand in our light and truth and power. And that will also be a very fundamental collective shift in the transition of ages into the Aquarian paradigm. But this week, with Venus moving into close proximity now with Pluto to start this extended conjunction as a result of the retrograde process, and the moon now in Libra talking about Venus and squaring both Venus and Pluto. Again, Venus or Libra also rules relationships, and Capricorn rules control and dominance and structures and limitations, putting limitations on things. So even by the sign placement, it's talking about these same themes. And like I said, this was present for the new moon in Aries, and the new moon in Aries, this is the energetic that is the undertone of the entire year and what we can expect to unfold throughout the course of the year. So we are in phase 3, essentially, of coming back into the truth of our self-love, our self-value, our self-worth, and that process helping us to break free from these self-sabotaging or self-limiting relationships and dynamics in which we find ourselves, largely based on negative subconscious programming that we accumulated from our past relationships and our past experiences. This is a tipping point in terms of that, and it's going to be unfolding the next few weeks. This Venus-Pluto theme is, like I said, going to be very relevant, and we're likely to see it playing out across the board. It's interesting to me, too, that the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is happening now, this week and over the course of the next few days heading into this Venus-Pluto conjunction, because that is also, that type of thing, that Epstein, Maxwell, all of that is very, very, very much Venus-Pluto themed things. So we are likely to see a lot of this type of stuff playing out in our own lives and also on the collective world stage as we go through this next couple weeks, and we have these Venus-Pluto themes just dominating our collective atmosphere. So power and control dynamics in relationships will become very prominent now as we are forced to finally break free from the things that have been enslaving our heart. This has been happening all year, like I said, and especially this next couple weeks, yes, and then in March. And it's likely to be a very intense and difficult energy, but it's ultimately very, very purposeful. So today, just to reiterate again, because that's what I do, the moon is triggering this activation by both sign placement and aspect this square as these planets are drawing close, making it a prominent theme for today. Now let's move on. I want to talk about something else today, although it is tied into this whole thing, because these energetics today are really hearkening back to the new moon in Aries and what began at the start of this year. And today we have the sun at 10 degrees of Sagittarius. Now the Sabian symbol of that degree, or that energetic frequency of that specific degree in the sky, described in a picture form so that we just have a better idea of how this specific degree in the zodiac tends to operate and what it resonates to. 10 degrees of Sag, the Sabian symbol, is a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. So this is interesting again. The sun today is speaking about a representation of a goddess of opportunity, being an opportunity being available to us. And going back again to the new moon in Aries that happened on April 11th, I'm pretty sure it was 2021, this past year, Venus in exact square to Pluto for the moment of that new moon in Aries was at, I believe it's 27 Aries. I could be wrong. But the Sabian symbol of the degree where she's at is, or was, through imagination, lost opportunities are regained. So through imagination, lost opportunities are regained. as we activate, that was the degree where Venus was for the new moon, talking about lost opportunities being regained throughout the course of this year through being able to align with our vision of a different future and imagine a different outcome for ourselves and be able to, imagine like regain something that we maybe thought was lost forever based on choices or decisions that we'd made up until this point in time. And, as this year has played out, it has become quite evident that things have started to shift in a really big way, and a lot of big and fundamental and dynamic changes that we perhaps never possibly saw coming are upon us. But considering the context of the fact that Venus was at that degree for the new moon in Aries in an exact square to Pluto. And now here we are back to today, where the Venus-Pluto conjunction that is building right now is really for the first time sort of being triggered and activated as the proximity grows closer. We have the sun talking about a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. So as we activate this Venus-Pluto energy coming into the conjunction today, the sun is again speaking of this opportunity. And Venus, the golden-haired goddess of opportunity, like that is clearly the golden-haired goddess that is being represented in this symbolism, speaking specifically to Venus as she comes into this extended conjunction with Pluto. And the moon is in her sign today, squaring from Capricorn. It's speaking about Venus's process of liberation from the dark lord of the underworld, represented collectively in terms of restoring the inner value, the self-love, and liberating the divine feminine energy collectively, and the opportunities that this is going to bring back to us that we may have thought were lost forever because of any type of these limiting, constricting, controlling, enslaving circumstances in which we may have found ourselves that were not truly a reflection of what we actually truly hold inside and desire, and the truth of our authentic nature of our love and our light that we hold within. So even the sun today is hearkening back to the new moon in Aries, which was talking about this struggle between the heart and what we surrender to that is not supportive of that, and how it steals our power and how it diminishes our value and keeps us in a state from being able to create true value and fulfillment and pleasure and abundance in our external world. Today, the sun is literally talking about Venus, the golden-haired goddess of opportunity, as she begins this dynamic with Pluto that is ultimately going to culminate in that Mars and Venus divine feminine integration, interaction, inner wholeness, taking down the darkness, and that process is what is going to bring back these opportunities as we shift paradigms into the age of Aquarius, and the impossible really does become possible in ways that we could never possibly imagine at this point in time as a result of these energetic and vibrational shifts that are opening things up and changing timelines and changing the future course of things for us. Opportunities regained. The golden-haired goddess of opportunity clearly is Venus as we begin this period of time that may be difficult, may be very intense, but is ultimately for the purpose of freeing our heart. So very interesting synchronicities going on in terms of the placement of the sun today as well. Now, another thing, the last thing that I want to talk about today is also what's going on with Saturn. Because remember, Venus and Pluto, this conjunction is happening in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which, also in the tarot, the devil card also correlates to the sign of Capricorn. So like Venus and Pluto in conjunction in Capricorn, like to me, this is just like so emblematic of the devil card. And if you read tarot, if you understand the symbolism associated with it, then all you really need to know about this aspect that we have going on and this energy that we have going on over the next couple weeks is the devil card and everything that goes along with that and what it truly means. It's ultimately a push for liberation and truth is what is represented by that. And it's just very interesting. So let's talk about Saturn, okay? Saturn right now is in Aquarius, and Saturn recently today is moving degrees. Saturn has been at 9 degrees of Aquarius, and Saturn moves to 10 degrees of Aquarius today. Very interesting symbolism coming up. The Sabian symbol of 10 degrees of Aquarius. A man who had for a time become the embodiment of an ideal is made to realize that as a person, he is not this ideal. Very interesting, very much correlating to the whole Venus-Pluto dynamic that we have going on. You know, aligning with an image that maybe we have idealized or see as an idealized image, and then having to face the truth that that ideal is really just not ideal to us anymore, is not who we truly are, and having to take accountability for that and face some hard truths. With and you know, we still had, okay, so Saturn moves to 10 Aquarius today. Remember, the sun today is at 10 Sagittarius. The sun moved to 10 Sagittarius. So we have another exact sextile going on today as well between the sun in Sag and Saturn in Aquarius. And, you know, Mercury is still pulled into this as well, proximity to the sun. And Chiron is still pulled into this as well by trine. But generally, I'm looking at the sun, Saturn, because also we have that Venus and Pluto in Capricorn ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is also changing degrees today. With Saturn at this degree, 10 Aquarius, the way I'm reading this is taking accountability. Where have we gone wrong? What is the truth? And false images, false pretenses really being accounted for. Projecting and idealizing something that we are not, and finally realizing that we've been trying to mold ourselves or fit ourselves into an idealized situation that truly is just not representative or emblematic of who we are or what we truly want, trying to become someone else's ideal for us. Reevaluating reality generally and shifting mindsets, shifting perspectives, and shifting morals, values, and ideals. And, you know, with Venus and Pluto in Capricorn, while Saturn is at this specific degree, and another thing, you know, Venus and Pluto together, that destroys relationships a lot of times. When there is a Venus-Pluto aspect that comes up, a lot of times it can lead to destruction in relationships. And people that have a natal Venus-Pluto in their chart, I think could probably relate to this and understand a lot what I'm saying, with the tendency to self-sabotage and like control and like just sometimes have a negative effect on the relationships and circumstances in their life when there is the Venus and the Pluto together in a chart, just because that's what the energy does. And at this degree, with Saturn at this degree and Venus and Pluto in Capricorn ruled by Saturn, this is destroying relationships that are not the authentic ideal, or that are strictly based on a false image, a false ideal, a false pretense, that are anything aside from true, genuine love and authenticity. Venus and Pluto in Capricorn with Saturn at this specific degree is really probably going to do some destruction to relationships, partnerships, financial situations that are out of alignment with the truth of the ideal that we hold inside of us, and not the truth of the ideal projection that we are like striving to attain to, that may or may not be who we truly are. And again, this is totally in alignment with what Venus and Pluto are doing together at this point anyways, which is helping us to break that illusion, to see the truth of the value of what we really hold inside and how special it is despite how different it might be, and how we can use that to create value in our external life based on our true authentic value, instead of chasing ideals that maybe never belonged to us in the first place. So again, even Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, while we have this Venus-Pluto conjunction building in Capricorn and the moon setting both of them off today, still bringing up this theme of being released from, and Saturn rules karma too, karmic relationships, karmic situations that have been keeping us out of touch with the truth of our own internal personal value, causing us to project ourselves as some type of ideal image that we may or may not actually be, losing these false pretenses so that we are no longer enslaved to an ideal that is not our own, and trying to perform and trying to fit like a round peg into a square hole, or whatever that saying is, you know. But it's just interesting because really that is what the energetics are indicating across the board today, and with the sun at this degree. And this day really activating the new moon in Aries, our opportunities, our lost opportunities are coming from realizing and aligning with accountability for our authentic truth. And that is what empowers us and opens doors for us. No more pretense, no more false pretenses, no more projections, no more false images, pretending that we're something that we're not. And the minute that we stop doing that, and the minute that we allow the things that are falling away now to fall away because they don't align with that truly, and surrendering to the changes that are happening, the changes universe is trying to make for us right now, that really is what Venus is talking about. That is what the golden haired goddess of opportunity, who promises lost opportunities regained through the imagination, that is what this is talking about. Releasing the past, breaking ourselves free from anything that has been keeping us out of the truth of our self-love and our self-value and what we truly love and desire in our lives, imagining that, opening up to it, walking away from the things and the conditioning that we felt like that we've needed in the past. That is where our opportunity comes. That is where and these opportunities are not just any opportunities. These are opportunities going forward for true, authentic fulfillment in alignment with what we really need to thrive, to feel alive, to activate and come into our true potential, and to really align with our destiny, do our job that we came to this planet to do, and live our best life and have our best experience and live our best legacy behind us as we go through this energetic and vibrational shift into the age of Aquarius. And this is just all, and it's just all happening together, and it's all a part of this process, and the opportunities for this fulfillment in alignment with authentic truth are what come when we let go of the false ideals, the false pretenses, align with authentic truth, and aren't afraid to overcome our previous conditioning and align with our wisdom gained through experience. And that whole Chiron hero's journey situation too, that is also a fundamental part of this. They're all working together. And today, we are definitely having these Venus-Pluto themes activated, speaking about what was going on with the new moon in Aries, like part 3 of the 4-part process in this this frequency shift inside of us that is really working to bring us back into internal wholeness, divine feminine, divine masculine, reintegrated so that we can be in our power and create abundance, beauty, value, fulfillment, success in our external worlds going forward, and really build up the age of Aquarius in a beautiful way. So that's really what I have for my report today, you guys. Venus, Pluto, back on the table, and they will be for a while. Another busy day. I mean, we still do have Mercury and the sun in close proximity. But again, I feel like it's going to be relationship issues, power struggles in relationships, power and control dynamics in relationships that really begin to become the prominent theme now and as we move through the next couple of weeks. So that is what I have for my astrology report today. Let's talk about the tarot for a quick second. I was shuffling the cards this morning, asking Spirit to clarify the collective energy, where we're really at right now today. And it was actually an interesting message that came out today in the context of what's going on. Not super specific like it can be sometimes, but still this may be meaningful to a lot of people, and I can see how this fits in. So the first 2 cards that came out of the deck, the first card was the 2 of Pentacles, juggling choices and decisions. And the second card that came out was the Queen of Pentacles. This is the golden-haired goddess of opportunity right here. This is Venus right here. This is like love, abundance, fulfillment, like unlimited, like success and material stability and comfort. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Ace of Pentacles. So, putting these cards together, reading the energies in the context of the energetics, this is really saying to me that collectively right now, we're actually in a process sort of making choices, trying to decide whether or not to take a new offer. This is the card that represents a new offer, a new opportunity. Ace of Pentacles. Very interesting, right? Today, the golden-haired goddess of opportunity, Venus being activated by the conjunction to Pluto and the moon in Libra, talking about harkening back again to her square with Pluto for the new moon, lost opportunities regained. This Ace of Cups or Ace of Pentacles that was on the back of the deck, this is all about a new offer, a new opportunity. But we're having a hard time. Like, we're sort of in indecision about it, trying to decide whether or not to take the opportunity that's being presented. And it's indecision about what choice to make, weighing our options, not sure whether or not to take the offer. But the fact that the Queen of Pentacles is here, this is, like I said, the golden-haired goddess of opportunity. So we have a golden-haired goddess of opportunity providing us a new opportunity. And we're just in a place really of juggling whether or not we want to take it, whether or not we want to go down that new path. But another interesting thing about this triplicity of cards that came out is they're all pentacles. Every single card that came out is a pentacle. And we have the Queen of Pentacles right here. So because we have the Queen of Pentacles, you know, if this was a different pentacle card, I might be like, you know, I don't know, you know, if we're going to take the opportunity or not. But because we have the Queen of Pentacles coming out right here, this is telling me, you know, it does look like we should be taking this new offer or this new opportunity. And especially with the sun at that degree today, a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. It really is quite well represented in these specific cards. And, you know, we may be in a place of juggling right now, but we won't be once we go through this Venus, Pluto, all of this stuff that is likely to be coming with Venus and Pluto in conjunction. So this is really telling me, you know, new opportunities definitely coming to us in terms of creating value and abundance and comfort in our lives. And we just need to make the right decision to take the opportunity. So if you are in a situation right now where you are being provided some type of new opportunity, and maybe it's radically different from anything that you've ever done or experienced before, and maybe you're questioning it, or maybe you are, you know, having some second thoughts, or maybe it doesn't even look like an opportunity at this point in time, because remember, we are in very strong Uranian energy right now, and maybe it doesn't really look so much like an opportunity as much as a big change in some type of a way. But, you know, today is the day, and this, you know, moving throughout the rest of this year as we head towards the new moon in Aries next year and this big March date that's coming in 2022, the opportunities that, you know, we're going to gain a lot more clarity, and things that may not have seemed like a good opportunity now in retrospect are likely to be. So if you are questioning, you know, what you should do, and if there seems to be an opportunity being presented to you, but it may be a little bit uncomfortable, it's probably a good idea to take that opportunity, because it's probably, as long as it's in alignment with your truth and authenticity and it feels right on a gut level, probably going to lead to some type of blessing, abundance, comfort, security, pleasure, joy with the Queen of Pentacles there. Now I'm going to draw a quick synchronicity card. I got about 1 more minute before my camera shuts off. This is a message, some inspiration or guidance today from God as we go through our day. And this is the right card I'm supposed to pick. And it says literally what I was literally just saying, a blessing in disguise. These opportunities may not seem like an opportunity, but it is a blessing in disguise. And if you have a chance to make a change and go in a radically different direction that you know is aligned with you, this is the energy to do it. This card says, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. 1 Samuel 12:18. Thunder and lightning can be frightening and give us a scare, but it is followed by blessed rain. You are divinely guided and blessings follow. So that's the guidance. If there is an opportunity, if something comes your way today, this week, it could be a blessing in disguise, and universe is urging us to take a different path that is more in authentic alignment with